Hi everybody, so I think it's about time that I make a video about my semester. I'm already on winter vacation and it's already been 4 months since I've arrived to Israel, and first of all I just want to talk about how God has helped me to come to Israel, how God has paid for my trip. So I know many of you guys out there might not see it the same way, and that's fine. This is the way I view it. Number one, I worked really hard while I was a full-time student, and I tried to save money as an English tutor and a supplemental instructor for this trip. What I mainly paid out of my money is the rent for the whole year. So other than that, I also worked really hard exercising my brain, trying to write so many scholarship essays, and I really want to give a shout out to the English Center and my buddies there, Leo, my older brother Edward, who also helped me. You guys looked at my essays time and time again. I just really want to thank you guys because I wouldn't have been able to make it without the help of all of you, your support, words of encouragement. Even if you guys didn't look at my essays, just, seeing your smile and encouragement really helps. For my minor in international studies, I knew that I had to study abroad, so I had to narrow down where I wanted to go. So I really wanted to go to Italy. That was one option because I speak Italian and it's my third language. I love it. But then I thought if I go to Israel, I will also be able to continue studying my Arabic in a relatively safe environment from what I've heard. And I put it, to God, and I told him, God, please provide me the money for either Italy or Israel. Help me to know where you would like me to go. I could have gone anywhere, really. It's as an intelligent college person, anything is possible if you have all these resources, financial aid. But as a Christian, I feel like my path is a little more narrow, a little more limited. Not in a negative way, but what I tell God in all my plans is God, I want to honor you in everything that I do. I want to make sure that each decision I make is blessed by you, and it's not something that I'm doing on my own, because I recognize that if I make decisions on my own, I am walking out of God's protection, out of His blessing for my life. And that's not something that I want to take lightly or lose so easily, because I have witnessed God's love, His protection in my life. And I thought, okay, God, what do you want me to do? Here's Italy. It costs this much X amount of money. Here's Israel. It costs X amount of money. And as I started doing more research, I realized, wow, it's so much more expensive to study in Rome for just one semester in comparison to a whole year in Israel. For a whole year, imagine that kind of experience is not the same as just one semester. You get way more out of it. So there was a time where I was in the process and I thought, I'm not going to be able to come. I didn't really share this with anyone because I wanted to wait it out and see what would happen. Before coming to Israel, I received this alarming and confusing email that sounded like they wanted me to send all the money for tuition and board all at one time, and I thought my FAFSA does not do that, so how am I supposed to give them the money, right? And I know my parents could have lent me the money if I really wanted to, but so pretty soon I had the money for the trip, for the dorms. I had won, I forget how many, I think I won already 6 scholarships in total. I was really disappointed when my FAFSA only came into $200 amount of dollars, and I was so surprised, shocked, because I was counting for more. Usually they give me about $1,000 each semester, and for it to be only $200, I was shocked, and I kind of panicked a little bit. And then when I received that email from the University of Haifa, it sounded like it could have been a mistranslation, I don't know, but the way I understood it is they wanted all the money all at once, and I didn't have that because I was counting on scholarships that were going to come in for the next semester. Even so, I still wanted to come. So for a moment, like, I was like, what do I do? I said, God, if you want me to go to Israel to provide the money, and I knew in my heart that this meant no loans and no aid from my parents, even though I know they were more than willing to help. And that way I would know it was him and not something that I was trying to push on my own. And it just seemed almost like I wasn't going to go. I was so close to not coming. And it was really hard for me after I had put in so much effort, because I had all the paperwork. It's crazy. It's so crazy when you think about all the paperwork that goes into studying abroad. It's like, if I would have known what it would have taken since the beginning, I might not have been brave enough to go through the whole process. It was just so lengthy and kind of confusing. You had to go places, meet with people. And so when I heard this, I was like, oh my goodness, like, should I ask for a loan? For my parents' help? I'm like, I was fighting inside of myself, because I thought, like, all this work, and then to finally, like, not be able to go, and then to make it worse, if I wouldn't have been able to go by this time, I would have lost my FAFSA in my home university, meaning I would have lost one whole semester. So that's how bad and conflicted it was, and I was like panicked, you know. Imagine losing one whole semester. Like, time is precious, you know. You kind of want to go in, get out, graduate, get your degree, start working. So it was a really stressful time. And so finally I told God, like, God, you know, I really want to go, but if you close the doors, I don't want to force this. Like, if it means losing a semester, so be it. Like, you know, I don't want to go if it is you closing the doors. And I thought it was kind of weird, because I thought, God, like, up till now, like, you have been giving me sufficient money, like, you know, for a semester, you know, to survive abroad for a semester, but not for the whole year. And so I thought, like, I don't understand what's happening. And many times that's how it is when you're serving God. Like, sometimes you don't understand what's going to happen next. God probably only gives us enough light to see the next step, but not the full path ahead. So, you know, I finally, at the end, when I surrendered it to God, and I told him, you know, okay, fine, God, I'm willing to not go if this means, you know, like, this is not your will, and you're not giving me all the money that I need for this unprecedented issue. Okay, so be it. And it was like maybe only like 2 days after that I had surrendered it to God and told him, you know, so be it, let your will be done. Having accepted it in my heart, even though, like, you know, I was really sad inside, thinking like, okay, well, you know, it's better to lose a semester than going somewhere on my own without his blessing. So then it was figured out like 2 days after, and I was just so happy. And, you know, I had some issues coming over here, but when I came to the dorms, finally, like, I was able to relax, and I see the door number, my apartment number is number 5 on my door. And for me, the number 5 has a lot of symbolism, because when I went to study abroad in Guatemala for 2 years, that was the number of my dorm room with all the other girls that I shared. And, you know, in the Bible, 5 is also the number of grace. The times it appears in the Bible, it's shows like God is bestowing grace. And I came here kind of conflicted because of the issues that happened while I was traveling here. And when I saw that number, it was like God telling me, like, you're here, like, I'm with you, this is my will, go ahead. And I just felt like so much peace, because I think it was just a lot of anxiety. I'm not so sure if it was culture shock, maybe a little bit of it, but it was just the anxiety of like, how am I going to get to the university all the way from Tel Aviv? And, you know, I know that a lot of people speak English here, but because they primarily speak Hebrew, like, if you ask them, do you speak English or can you help me in English, they will help you and answer you in English for the most part. It's just a little intimidating because that's not the language that you hear on the streets everywhere. So I think maybe that got to me. I hadn't really slept in, like, I don't know, maybe 2 days, or eaten really anything in 2 days, maybe a granola bar. So I was just kind of like jittery and just, you know, a complete mess. And then I arrived here. God gave me more scholarships. I've received some scholarships for the spring semester. I haven't had to ask my parents for money for school, thankfully. And when I checked my bank account today, it said that FAFSA had granted me money, and I'm like, okay, well, it's probably gonna be another $200 because last time they only gave me like $200, and which was little, but still God provided, right? And when I saw that, I realized I was wrong. Awaiting me on my bank account was about like 2,000 plus dollars, and so I was really surprised and also just overwhelmed because I see how God has been providing the money for this trip. And it's exciting because I don't know what He has for me in the future. I just hope that I can continue to serve Him and continue seeing what He does in my life or how He plans to use me. Like, I really want to serve Him in everything I do, even in the workforce, in my career. So I just want to say that, to God be the glory. I thank Him for all His blessings, and that's how He has paid for my trip to Israel. I know some people might say, well, it wasn't really God, it was your intelligence. You worked hard for it, laboring, hours of tutoring, or hours sitting down writing essays. And yes, maybe that's true, but I know that I wouldn't have this intelligence or any of this capability if it weren't for God and His mercy in my life for giving that to me. A healthy individual, and I give Him thanks for that. I hope this inspired some of you. Thank you guys for supporting me with prayer, for messaging me. It's great to hear from home. It's really encouraging. I still survive, I get motivated, I go jogging, I work on those essays I need to submit soon. And thank you guys for your support. Bye.